Today we have new firmware updates for a number of Fujifilm cameras, and I'm going to tell you all about them. Hi everyone, welcome to Pal2Tech. Fujifilm has just released brand new firmware updates for the following cameras: the GFX 100 and 100S, the X Pro 3, the X-T4, the XS10, and the X100V. Now, two of these cameras, the X-T4 and the XS10, received an additional feature with this update that I'll talk about shortly. Let's start with the basics and the bug fixes. All cameras are receiving fixes for what Fujifilm calls minor bugs. As always, I wish they would list those out so I could see what they are, but they only indicate minor bugs. So you're getting a fix of minor bugs. Now, on the GFX 100 and 100S, one of the bugs being fixed has to do with the electronic viewfinder display. Apparently, if frame rate priority was selected in the boost menu, this caused issues with the electronic viewfinder display. That's now been fixed. Next on the list is a repair for Bluetooth connectivity problems that still affected the X Pro 3 and the XS10. This issue had to do with either a Bluetooth paired device that wouldn't be registered correctly, or the camera would simply not turn on after a paired device had been registered to it. Both of those problems have now been fixed. The next fix has to do with the camera disabling a custom white balance setting that operated via the Q menu. This affected the X Pro 3, the X-T4, and the X100V, and it's now been fixed. And wrapping up the bug portion of this firmware update, the X100V has now been fixed with regard to the issue of spot metering being stuck in the center of the frame. This happened when the camera was in manual focus mode on spot metering. And also fixed for the X100V was the issue where images could not be played back with a specific file name that was created by the edit file name function in the camera's menu. Now, as far as features, I wish I had more to share with you. There is, however, one new feature that's been added to both the X-T4 and the XS10, and it is kind of an interesting one. There's now this new section in the audio settings. It's called XLR Mic Adapter Setting. Interestingly, right inside Fujifilm's own updated X-T4 manual, they mention that it can be used with the new Tascam CA XLR 2DF XLR microphone adapter kit for Fujifilm. Now, while I'm sure that Tascam's unit will not be the only one ever made for Fujifilm, it is interesting to see a third-party product mentioned right in the Fujifilm user manual. Now, there are three main settings for this new feature: mic input channel, 4-channel audio monitoring, and HDMI 4-channel audio output. These basically specify if you are recording either 2 or 4-channel XLR audio, and if you're using the camera's built-in microphone or an external microphone. The other options have to do with how XLR audio is output for monitoring. Tascam, if you are watching this video and you want to loan over a test unit for me to teach everyone how to hook that unit up with a Fujifilm camera, feel free to reach out to me. Now, one thing you should know right off the bat about this new audio feature: it will only work with LPCM audio compression, not AAC, so keep that in mind. Overall, today's firmware update was basically a bunch of bug fixes again. However, what I do find very interesting is that the one new feature they added, the ability to record and manage XLR audio, was added now, shortly before their upcoming major product event in May. And if anything screams out to me that Fujifilm is continuing toward launching even more professional video cameras, today's edition of being able to better manage XLR audio might be an important sign. Either way, it'll be very interesting to see what the Fujifilm event in May will bring us. Well, that wraps it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found it helpful or at least entertaining. And if you did, be sure to give it the like and subscribe. I'm going to be back in an all-new video Friday. I'll see you soon.